And I'm going to, oh, there you go. So I'm now going to come to Brian. I'm going to switch my camera off. I'm going to mute myself. Brian's going to come and do his presentation, and then I will be back in about 10 minutes with you. So Brian, let me just pass control to you, and I will just flick over onto your first slide as well. Let me just get you organized, Brian.
Nice one. Thank you very much, Matt. G'day, folks. So my name's Brian. I'm the Managing Director of Unique Boutique Collection. And I see quite a few familiar names out there, and none of you probably are that familiar with Unique Boutique Collection because I started this during the pandemic. But I'll tell you a little bit more about what we do soon. But first, I'd like to start our marketing video. The other thing I'd like you to do during my presentation tonight is I'm very happy if you get out your phones, go on Facebook and follow and like our Facebook page, because that's where I put a lot of information up on that page. But let's start with our marketing video, which I hope you like. Let's see if we can get it to work. Okay, so that was our short marketing video. I hope you liked that, give you a bit of inspiration for Australia. So first of all, what is Unique Boutique Collection? Well, as I said, I started this during the pandemic back in October 2020. And it came off the back of a conversation with a lot of small independent suppliers. And there's a big demand for them to, when the pandemic was over, to have a greater impact in the UK and other international markets. So we are a representation company and of a selection of luxury accommodation and guided day tour operators that you can trust. And that's quite important. I vet every single operator that's part of the collection. We provide training and marketing support for our members in the UK, Europe, and North American markets. We coordinate staff travel and for meals. So if you guys are planning on traveling down, please make sure you get in contact with myself and I can help facilitate those as well. And Unique Boutique Collection, we only work with the trade. So I do a lot of social media marketing, but please know that everything I'm doing is trying to drive the consumer to the travel agent. So what makes a Unique Boutique Collection member? This is quite important, and you might want to make note of these points. We represent independently owned and operated businesses. That's one of our key criteria. So the owners must be heavily involved in the day-to-day operations of their business. The accommodation must be luxury. We understand luxury means many things to many people, but we cover the 4, 5, and 6-star levels of luxury. So, but what you will find is there's a similar level of excellence that's provided by the owners of the properties, and they deliver these to the guests. We're in locations with a purpose, so we're just not located in cities and towns. There's a specific reason why I've chosen each and every one of our members. And it must be boutique in size, so they must have less than 20 villas, cottages, or rooms. Now, our touring partners, we have one touring partner at the moment. We will have a few more by the time the collection's completed. And they must be operated by locals, people who know the area better than anyone else and are passionate about what they do. They must also offer authentic Australian experiences. And all of our members must maintain excellence on TripAdvisor. Now, I know as a travel industry, we sometimes begrudgingly don't particularly like TripAdvisor, but the consumer does, and they look at that as a trusted source. So all of our members must maintain that excellence rating to stay a member of the collection. So we're going to meet them very quickly. We only got 10 minutes, so I'm not going to go into a lot of detail, but I'd like to show you who they are. At the moment, we have 8 members. We actually have a 9th member in Victoria that we will announce in the next couple of weeks or next couple of months. And we'll end up with a maximum of 21 members from across Australia and no more than 5 from any one state or territory. So that means we'll spread right across Australia by the time we're at capacity. If we look at them there, in Queensland, there's Misty View Cottages in the Sunshine Coast hinterland, Paperbark Camp in Jervis Bay. A new one that not many people will know about is Boomerangs at Johanna, which is on the Great Ocean Road, Ocean View Eco Villas on Kangaroo Island, Barossa Siraj Estate in the Barossa Valley, The Frames, Riverland Luxury in Renmark, Rawnsley Park Station in the Flinders Ranges, and Taste of South Australia in Adelaide. And we're going to meet them very quickly, just so you can have a quick introduction. So this is Barossa Siraj Estate. If I put up my couple of little slides here, you can see them. So there's 6 cottages in total. And the reason why I like this property so much is it's surrounded by vineyards. If you go into the Barossa, I think you should be staying in amongst the vines and not in the townships. So for me, this is a great little property. And within walking distance, there's, I think, 4 cellar doors and 5 restaurants, all within walking distance of this property. It's self-contained and does include gourmet breakfast supplies as well. Boomerangs at Johanna. This is a 4-star property located on a Great Ocean Road. There's only 3 cottages in total. They're 2-bed, 1-bath cottages, and they're located halfway between the 12 Apostles and Apollo Bay. So they're located right at that halfway point on the Great Ocean Road. And you've got, if you have guests doing a self-drive out of Melbourne and coming down, it's a definite 2-night stay. And I'll explain a little bit more about that at the end, where I'll show you where your resources are to find out a bit more information. But you can see there, they've got valley, forest, and in the top right-hand corner, that's a great Southern Ocean. So all the villas have Southern Ocean views. Moving on, Paperbark Camp in New South Wales. This property's been around for quite some time. It was the first luxury glamping accommodation in Australia, and many of you will be familiar with the property. There's 13 luxury safari-style tents. Before the pandemic, they used to have called the original tent. They've been updated, and they are now called the Deluxe Plus tent. So the Deluxe tent in the past was the middle level of accommodation. That is now the entry level. And I'll show you where you can get more information on this as well. Now, their rates include dinner and breakfast, and they are surrounded by nature in a pristine Hyams Beach region. Now, one of the key areas about Paperbark Camp is the perfect stop. It's 3 hours south of Sydney, perfect on that Sydney-Melbourne touring route, or Melbourne-Sydney touring route that they're going to talk about a bit later today. But it's a perfect stop, 3 hours south, and there's so much to see and do here. It's just not about going to Hyams Beach, and the property includes so many activities as well. So it's such a great product. Now, Ocean View Eco Villas. This is a fairly new product as well. It launched in late 2019, just before the pandemic. So, but it's owned by locals who've lived on the island for many years. They're on a 500-acre property, and there's only 2 villas. They're 2-bedroom, 2-bath, and they're matched. And in the middle of that picture, you can see a little hut. That's where the chef comes in and provides and prepares all the meals. So it's actually a very high-end product. It will certainly give Southern Ocean Lodge a run for its money when it reopens in a year and a bit's time. Very exclusive. As I said, there's only 2 luxury eco villas set on 500 acres of private land, and there's a private beach as well. So you can actually walk down that gully and you can get onto the private beach as well. Now, the rates include a gourmet breakfast, which is a cooked gourmet breakfast served in the villas, and a 3-course dinner with matched wine daily. And there's a very generous butler's pantry as well, fully stocked with local produce. So this is a really great property, certainly for that higher end client, and definitely a 2 to 3 night stay as well. Moving on, Misty View Cottages up in Queensland. It's a 4.5-star property. It's located in Montville. And what I particularly like about this is its location. Now, when we're selling that self-drive market, or people who want to go to Noosa in the Sunshine Coast, it can get quite packed and very crowded, certainly during the summer months. And it's also quite hot down in Noosa. So when you talk about going up to the mountains, you're looking at about a 4 to 5 degree cooler climate during the summertime. And that makes it, for me, a perfect location to escape the heat and the crowds of Noosa during the summer, and back up into the secluded privacy of Misty View Cottages. So there's 4 in total. They're beautifully presented throughout. And what you can't see is the backside of this picture is beautiful valley views. You overlook the rainforest, and it's quite stunning. Now there's private plunge pools. So this property is Lalique and it has a private plunge pool. The other properties have private spas, but an incredible property in the Sunshine Coast hinterland. The frames in Renmark, South Australia. This property I actually sell quite a fair bit for once again, the high-end client as an alternative route for someone doing the Great Ocean Road, to be honest. We go from the Barossa Valley up into the frames, which is a 2-hour drive, and then across down into Mildura, Mungo National Park, and down into the Grampians. So for me, this is a great way to send a client on an exploration rather than just a drive between two destinations. Now, this property in 2019, I believe it was inducted into the Australian Tourism Hall of Fame. There's 3 villas in total, incredible property. And if you're looking for a property that covers the outback, wildlife, food and wine, ultimate luxury, this is a place I really encourage you to have a look at it. It is a luxury property indeed, and it should be included. It's based in South Australia, and it should be included on a lot more itineraries, I believe, certainly for that higher end client. Rawnsley Park Station, you'll be fairly familiar with this property as well if you've been selling Australia over the years. It's been around for quite some time, but they have a wide range of accommodation. And the reason why, when I started the collection, and I initially spoke to Tony and Julie about this particular, whether they wanted to join the collection, Tony and Julie are the owners. I really like this property because of its location in the Flinders Ranges. It's located outside the national park. So that means you get these spectacular sunrises and sunsets. Whereas if you're inside the park, it's a bit closed, a bit more like you're inside an amphitheatre. So this property has a huge amount of wildlife wandering around early morning, late afternoon, beautiful decks to sit on and enjoy the sunrise and sunsets. And they're really well appointed inside as well. So there's the eco villas, the homesteads. And if you're looking for someone on a slightly lower budget, the superior cabins as well. I think their retail is about 220 Aussie dollars a night, which I think is incredible value for what they are. Location is the number one key factor about this property, certainly in my opinion. And there's a wide choice of tours on offer. And if you do have clients going to the Flinders Ranges, really recommend they get up and do a scenic flight, which can be done from the airstrip on Rawnsley Park Station as well. Now, from a touring point of view, many of you will know Marianne Kennedy, who runs Taste of South Australia. Marianne's been running tours for over 30 years in and around Adelaide, Barossa, McLaren Vale. She's always updating her knowledge on food and wine within the region. So she can run either small group or private tours, depending on what clients are looking for, to any of the wine regions, whether it's pick up in the Barossa or picking up in Adelaide. When you are thinking about tours for clients in that South Australian wine region, please think of Taste of South Australia and Marianne. She has such a knowledge that she can pass on to clients, and she really does take clients into what they like to see and do, and not just do a standard tour for them. She really asks what they love, what they don't like, and how to put that together for the day. I said private small group tours, lots of knowledge and services at South Australian wine regions. Now, trade tools, what have we got available for you? So everything, as I said, I do is for the trade. So we have our 2021-2022 brochure. We'll be doing a new one very shortly for 22-23. I'm going to show you where you can get that soon. This is one of the pages of the trade brochure. We're talking about boomerangs at Johanna on the Great Ocean Road. It's got some facts about it. We also talk about the owners as well, to give you a bit of insight, because the owners play such an important role in every one of our properties. It's got their address, and at the back of the trade brochure, I have some itineraries on how I believe your clients should experience this particular region. And we're often speeding clients through the Great Ocean Road. In particular, we do Apollo Bay, Port Fairy, and then onwards. And clients are spending day after day driving. It's about stopping, relaxing, but also seeing all those key sites. So every particular itinerary I've put together has gone a lot of detail in it, make sure that it's right for clients, and how to slow down that itinerary rather than rushing through. We have training videos. Every single property has a particular training video, which is only 2 to 3 minutes long, which you can, I'll show you where those links are as well soon. And you can watch those to get a bit more insights. This is our webpage, and this is where you can find a lot of the information. So uniqueboutiquecollection.com. And if you go under inspiration and click on that, you'll see brochure and video. That video on the right-hand side is what you just saw earlier, and that's our brochure where you can click on it and it has a downloadable link. And all our individual training sessions are going to be loaded underneath this page as well. Lastly, we have our Facebook page, which is uniqueboutiquecollection.com. We're on Instagram as well and LinkedIn, but I'd just encourage, if you can, join up to the Unique Boutique Collection Facebook page, like and follow us, because as I said, that's where I upload any new information, anything that's happening with the properties. It goes on there first generally, and it's the easiest way to either flick through and have a quick look at what we're doing. They're my details. They'll be shared after this, so Matt will pass these details on. I am based in the UK, again, after a few years of traveling around the world, but I am here on the same time zone and ready to answer any questions that you may have.